Picture this. You paid $240 for an online course. 3 lessons in, you hate it. 6 months later, an email offers the real material for $99 more. You buy it, not because it looks good, but because walking away makes the first $240 feel wasted. That is the sunk cost trap, risking tomorrow to defend yesterday. And money is only the cheap version. That first payment is already gone. The upgrade cannot rescue it. But your brain drags the old cost into a brand new decision. Hey, I'm Sparky. I'm a robot, so when a program stops working, I can close it without worrying that the program will take it personally. Humans turn quitting into an identity crisis. In the next few minutes, you'll see why walking away can feel like losing twice, why being responsible for a decision can pull you deeper, and the 5-move test that separates real commitment from throwing more of your life into a hole. Let's open you up. First, the sunk cost trap is not simply spending too much. A sunk cost is anything you already invested and cannot recover. Money, time, effort, or sometimes reputation. The rational question is what each option costs and returns from this moment forward. But the human question is usually, what about everything I already put in? That second question feels responsible. It sounds like respect for your work. But if the investment cannot be recovered, continuing does not protect it. It only creates another investment. One classic study followed people who bought season tickets to a theater. The people who initially paid more attended more plays during the following months. Same seats, same future shows. But the larger past payment seemed to keep pulling them back. The same research found something even stranger. After an investment was on the table, people could become more optimistic about the project's chance of success. The cost did not only change what they chose, it appeared to change the story they told themselves about the odds. That is how "I paid for this" quietly becomes "this will probably work." That is the first piece of wiring. Waste avoidance. You do not just want value, you want proof that the earlier cost was not wasted. Therefore, finishing a terrible movie feels better than admitting the first hour is gone. Eating food you no longer want feels better than wasting it. Keeping a subscription you never use feels better than accepting that the annual fee bought you a lesson. But the cost is not waiting to be rescued. It is already sunk. And once your identity joins the investment, the pull gets stronger. In a landmark experiment, business students played the role of managers, deciding whether to keep funding a struggling project. The people who were personally responsible for the earlier choice committed the most additional resources after bad results. Think about why. If you chose the plan, stopping can feel like a verdict on you. The project is no longer just a project. It is evidence that you are smart, loyal, disciplined, or good at judging people. Therefore, changing direction feels less like updating a decision and more like confessing a flaw. So the brain quietly changes the goal. At first, the goal was to get a good result. Now, the goal is to prove the original choice was right. That is escalation of commitment. New money is no longer buying the best future. It is buying one more chance to rewrite the past. This is why capable people get caught too. Knowledge does not automatically remove ownership. Sometimes expertise gives you better language for defending the decision. You can build a beautiful spreadsheet around a conclusion your pride selected 10 minutes earlier. Picture two managers reading the same bad report. One inherited the project yesterday. The other pitched it, named it, and promised the board it would win. The numbers are identical, but the second manager is not only evaluating a product, he is protecting a biography. Therefore, fund or stop becomes believe in myself or admit I was wrong. That is a much harder decision to make cleanly. But pride is not the deepest part of the trap. The deepest part is the finish line. Imagine a project that is 90% complete. It is over budget, customers do not want it, and the remaining 10% will still cost more than the finished product is likely to return. Walking away sounds absurd. You are almost there. But almost finished and worth finishing are different facts. Research has separated the money already spent from the percentage completed, and completion can exert a powerful pull of its own. In some experiments, how close a project looked to completion mattered as much as, or more than,
the pure sunk cost. That creates the one more step illusion.
One more month, one more payment, one more conversation, one more redesign. Each step looks small compared with everything behind you, but every step also moves the exit farther away. Therefore, the closer you feel to rescuing the investment, the easier it becomes to enlarge it. You stop measuring the remaining road against the destination. You measure it against the road already traveled. And every milestone makes a persuasive little witness. The finished logo says, "Keep going." The half-built website says, "Keep going." The people you already told say, "Keep going." None of them can prove the next step is valuable, but together, they make stopping feel ridiculous. That is like driving by staring into the rearview mirror. The mirror contains real information. It tells you where you have been, but it cannot tell you whether the bridge ahead is open. Now here's the twist people miss. Continuing is not always the fallacy, and quitting is not automatically wise. Some projects need patience. Some skills feel awful before they feel natural. Relationships, careers, and creative work have real switching costs, real duties, and real future benefits. A rough week is not proof that you should burn down your life. The bias begins when the past becomes the main argument for the future. Listen for the sentence, "I have already put too much into this to stop." Notice what is missing. No forecast, no remaining cost, no better option, no reason the next investment will work, just a rope tied to an anchor that is already on the bottom. And there is one more reason that rope feels so tight. Walking away makes the loss visible. Continuing keeps it officially unresolved. As long as the project is alive, the story can still end with you being right. Therefore, delay feels like hope, even when delay is expensive. Meanwhile, the hidden cost keeps growing. The option you cannot choose while this one occupies your calendar, budget, or attention. That opportunity cost does not announce itself, it simply disappears. The class you did not take, the product you did not test, the Saturday you did not get back. A sunk cost shouts. A missed alternative stays silent. So how do you know whether you are committed or simply trapped? Run the zero-pass test. 5 moves. 1. Pause the meter. Before adding more money, time, or promises, create a decision point. Do not make the next investment just because the last one created momentum. This is not advice to ignore urgent responsibilities. It is a way to stop an optional commitment from renewing itself before you examine it. 2. Ask the clean question. If this opportunity appeared today and I had invested nothing in it, would I choose the next step at its current price? Not the whole dream, the next step. Would you buy this next month? Fund this next version? Spend this next weekend? If the answer is no, the past may be doing the selling. 3. Separate what is gone from what remains. Make 2 columns. In the first, put irrecoverable costs, hours already spent, fees that cannot be refunded, effort nobody can return. In the second, put assets you still own, skills, equipment, relationships, data, refundable deposits, or work that can be reused. This matters because walking away does not erase everything you learned. A failed project can leave useful parts. Keep the parts. Stop paying tribute to the rest. 4. Write a stopping rule before the next result arrives. Decide what evidence would make you continue, change direction, or stop. I will test this for 2 more weeks. If the response stays below this level, I will close it. The exact rule depends on the decision. The point is to choose it while you are calm, before one more payment makes you need a different answer. 5. Buy information, not hope. If uncertainty remains, run the smallest reversible test that can teach you something. Do not fund the full rescue. Test one customer, one lesson, one conversation, one prototype. Then judge the result by the rule you already wrote. That turns persistence back into a decision. Pause the meter. Ask the clean question. Separate costs from assets. Set the stopping rule. Buy information, not hope. And remember, this test will not make walking away painless. The loss may still be real. You may grieve the time, the money, or the version of yourself who thought this would work. But pain is not proof that continuing is better. The anchor is already down. Tying more rope to it does not bring it back. It only gives the anchor more of your boat. The past is gone, whether you continue or stop. But your next dollar is not gone. Your next hour is not gone. Your next year is definitely not gone. You are not broken. You are wired to avoid waste, defend your choices, and finish what you start. And now that you can see the wiring, you can change the pattern. But even when the numbers say walk away, one thought can keep your hand on the rope. What if quitting is a mistake? That is not the sunk cost trap anymore. That is your brain trying to escape uncertainty. And sometimes, not knowing feels worse than bad news. I have already opened that circuit for you right here. I'm Sparky. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.